Yes. So again, Super Dash. I think Super Dash is bad. That's where I have to start. Super Dash is bad for a lot of reasons. It's good for like the way the game is made, but I think it's a really bad mechanic. It's really hard to talk about because it's good for a lot of things and it's terrible for a lot of things. So I'm gonna start with the things I hate about it. So one, people who don't have good neutral can use it to traverse space they shouldn't be allowed to traverse, and that really fucking pisses me off. And the existence of Super Dash, you have to play around that shit. There's no other way to talk about it, right? Like, you have to play around it. So you either need to like do stuff that's safe to Super Dash all the time, or you have to do moves that are safe against Super Dash. And when you choose to do stuff that's not safe against Super Dash, you gotta be like cool with getting hit by Super Dash. And it really fucking sucks, and I hate it. And for the way I like to play fighting games, a mechanic like that drives me fucking crazy. So when you see me like in nationals, for instance, like I'm willing to take the risks more actually against stronger players, like stuff that loses a Super Dash, than like when I play random people, I don't do anything. Like, I really don't do shit because they could just Super Dash and I never know when it's coming. There's like spots where everyone likes a Super Dash, you know, but like in the end it's like you really never know when it's coming, and it fucking, if you get hit by it, it changes the game. Like, you can die. It's really, really frustrating. If I'm not like feeling burnt out on the game, then I can usually deal with it. But if I'm feeling really burnt out on the game, then I start thinking about like how I can't play the game the way I want to play fighting games, you know? On block is annoying too. So that was the next thing I was going to talk about. Oh, well, if you hate Super Dash so much and you think it's so scrubby and random and good, why don't you use Super Dash more? Okay. The issue is I would love to use Super Dash a lot more, actually. The main thing, though, is that by doing it, and I think only like high-level players of the game realize this, and that's why you don't see them do it that much. Or they also, it could be that they're just also like pure instinct type players and they're just doing shit, right? But when your Super Dash is blocked and when you block a Super Dash, it's immediate rock, paper, scissors. Immediate. And if you lose that RPS, like if you Super Dash like Gotenks and you pick the wrong thing and I do hands, you're dead. Like, you die from that. You know? It's immediate RPS right away. It's a forced immediate RPS situation because the Super Dash is 0 on block on the ground and +2 in the air. There's immediate RPS. I remember before I learned that Super Dash was +2 in the air, that people would like block your Super Dash and air dash at you. But then when I learned it was plus, I was like, bro, like I'm plus, but apparently I'm not plus enough. And remember that almost every character has stubby ass buttons, so people are like taking their turn in my advantageous situation really commonly. So then I stopped doing a lot of like anti-air Super Dash and stuff. And then later, I was like, okay, each character's Super Dash is not made the same. Some characters have good options and some characters don't have good options. And we go for this, right? The thing that sucks, though, is that it's designed into the game and it's good for stuff, too. That's the thing that really sucks. For example, characters are allowed to have busted Ki Blasts because Super Dash is in the game. Like, if Super Dash was not in the game, it would be a pretty different experience fighting against characters like 21 or Broly, right? For instance, even if you think that like you can't Super Dash at Broly, one, you should actually try Super Dashing at Broly. Like, you need to Super Dash at Broly. That's what it's there for, you know. A lot of people, yeah, people say that shit like that too a lot. Like, make Super Dash cost like a quarter of a bar, like cost meter or something. That would be great. I would fucking love that. But also, I understand it would directly cut into one of the goals they have for the game, which is they do want it to be accessible, and neutral is a really, really hard part of the game for people. It's a really, 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 really hard part of the game for people, because how do you get over there? Like straight up. How do you get over there? How do you get over there? Like, seriously, how do you get over there without Super Dash in this game? I feel like I can't do stuff because I have to look for it so often. This usually only comes out when I am when I'm getting a little burnt out on the game. I'm usually able to resist it if I'm like fresh. So usually if I'm starting to think this way, then I take a break from the game for a couple days. But like I am trained to. Oh, I have trained myself. I should say I am trained, like someone taught me. Like I've learned through playing anime games that there's wasteful movement But I think there in Dragon Ball there basically is no wasteful movement because so many characters have things to stall and alter their movement. But when it turns into jump and wait the game, I literally, like, my brain is just trained to not do that. And I think it looks bad. Like, it doesn't look like good neutral to me, but at the same time I understand that this game's neutral is not like a normal game's neutral, you know? Like, it's way more about the control of these lines and areas and zones rather than like actual interaction between the characters, you know what I mean? It gets frustrating though. I mean, Super Dash has to be strong too. Like, it can't be bad. Like, the way Key Charge is not good, right? Like, it can't be bad. I get it. And obviously it's okay because there are people who play the game who are just cool with it. And I keep saying I want to study movement and I don't do it. So these things are all my fault. But I still really dislike Super Dash as a mechanic. Overall, it's one of my least favorite mechanics in this game. What if Super Dash is way faster than usual and with the tracking it has? I mean, there's no way to like fix it in my head, you know? Like, it just is what it is. Do you have one alternative for Super? Like, I don't. It's not like I have an idea. The only idea I would have is to give more characters moves that beat Ki Blast. The thing about Super Dash is like it's one thing that everyone can do. Not all characters have moves that beat Ki Blast, but also they're not distributed evenly. Like, some characters have moves that are ridiculous against Ki Blast and others don't have them. So Super Dash is like the middle where it's like everyone has it, it works the same for everybody. It'd be like that. Like, it's something like I'm cool with in the game, but when the game earlier, like year 1, year 2 of the game, I was like, I fucking hate this shit. Like, this mechanic is so trash. It's still kind of trash, but now it's like we accept that's the game / there's more shit you can do against it / we pick characters that, like, if you play characters that don't deal with Super Dash well, then like I don't even know how you exist. But yeah, Nan is just part of the game.